Hi, so for my project, I wanted to do a vlog, so that's what I'm doing, and yeah, so let's just get started. So my main focus was writing style. That's what I wanted to improve on, but more into writing style, I really wanted to improve on sentence structure and organization. Those are the two topics inside of writing style that I knew I really wanted to work on. The topic I read about was conspiracy theories, because I knew if I were to write about current events, which was I think you were supposed to write about, I would not enjoy it, and I knew I would not better myself as a writer as I wanted to. You have to write about something and actually research about something you enjoy to better yourself, and I knew that's not how I better myself. So that's why I decided to do a conspiracy theory. I love watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading about conspiracy theories, so that's why I chose them. I knew it would definitely better myself. How to move this. Illustrate what you learned about your area of focus with examples. I learned sentence structure and organization in my area. Now this goes back to what I wanted to improve on. I knew to write in conspiracy theory, you had to be good with sentence structure and organization. So that's also why I chose this topic, because I knew it would actually really help myself. So everything has to be organized, and your sentences have to also be organized, and you have to get sentence structure. Once you have good sentence structure, then everything can fall into place. And for example, I wrote about a Chuck E. Cheese blog, and that's in my blog, and how they reuse pizzas. I'm saying that because this is a conspiracy theory. And I believe, if you're wondering, but you have to talk about what the waiter does or the cook does. So the waiter gathers the pizzas from different tables that are left on the trays that are no longer being eaten. He takes them back, and then the cook either puts cheese on it, has the same toppings, and then just puts it in the oven to melt the cheese and stuff to make it look like, it's fresh and stuff. But you have to be able to put what the waiter does, what the waiter brings back, gathers the pizza, brings back, and then the role of the cook puts toppings on, puts it in the oven, and then the waiter brings it out to a table who ordered the same toppings as the other pizzas. All the pizzas that are gathered all had the same toppings, or it's half and half. So you also have to be very good at organizing that. You have to make sure you add every detail for it all to come together. And that was something that the Chuck E. Cheese one you had to do, is you had to be very good with sentence structure and organization for it all, for the reader to be like, do they really reuse pizzas, So that's what I learned about, so you have to be very organized in a conspiracy theory. Next thing I'm going to talk about is what I learned about me as a writer through investigating this area of focus. I've learned that there's a lot of things to comprehend, and that I'm not very good at that. It's hard for me to take a bunch of information, which a conspiracy theory has. It has a lot of information. Take the information, put it in me, and then write it down, organized, and in my own words. That is something I knew I struggled with, and that's what I learned about me as investigating this area of focus. I have to learn to take my time when reading things and take down notes as I'm reading it, so when I go back to write it all, I know what has to be in order and how to put it in my own words. And there's a lot of information, so take notes on the information. So that's what I learned about as me, is I'm not very good at comprehending a lot of information and then putting it down my own words in my own organization. So that's what I learned about myself. Oh, and I always forget, for my examples, one of my blogs, the iPhone Always Eavesdropping on Us, talks about how you talk about a brand or something that you like, and you scroll through social media the next day or that night, and you see an ad or an advertisement about the thing you're talking about. For like example, extra gum or Orbit gum, which one do you prefer? Or another example that I laid out was Carmex and Blistic. Which one do you prefer? And if you talk about this with a friend and then you scroll through your social media, you can see an ad for either one of these, you know. And this has been an experiment, is, you know, which one. And that is a lot of information of what steps that happen, you know, how it starts listening to you, and then if you talk about it, and then what app will appear on at which time. That is a lot of information to comprehend, put down, and organize in your own words. So that is an example for what I learned about me and how I'm not really good at comprehending would be my iPhone conspiracy theories and the different things that go into eavesdropping of the iPhone. For the reflection questions, for backward looking, what ways do you think you need to improve? I definitely think I need to improve on organization even more. That was one of my things, was organization, but I think for my paragraphs, I think I also need to organize them more. And word choice. I need to learn how to take a simple word and find a synonym for it that is more advanced. I need to take simple words and make it advanced. So my writing sounds better, more intelligent. The reader like thinks like, oh, this is like a real deal. She knows what she's talking about. So that's what I also want to learn now, like work on. And when working /do, what did you enjoy about this piece of work? I very much enjoyed this piece of work because I liked researching about it. I liked researching what topic I was going to write about my conspiracy theory. I watched a podcast. I listened to podcasts. I watched Shane Dawson's conspiracy theories videos on YouTube. He's like famous for them. And then I also research on websites. So my favorite part about this piece of work was researching by far. I loved researching it all and writing it all down, except for the reading part because that's one I comprehended. But listening, it was pretty easy, and watching it, having a visual and pictures and stuff was pretty easy. Outward looking, did you do your work the way other people did theirs? In what ways did you do differently? I did my work very differently than others. One, I did not write about current events. I wrote about conspiracy theories. And two, people would put out a new blog every week. I didn't. I would gather information every week, and then on the last final week, I put it all together in one blog. So that's what I did differently than other people that were doing this. And forward looking, what would you change if you had a chance to do this piece over again? This goes back to the outward thinking. I would definitely write a conspiracy theory every week and post it. That would give me so much more examples to talk about. It would better myself more because instead of researching it and writing all one big blog, I would have a new blog every week so I can work on my organization and sentence structures even more. So I would write a theory every week, and I think that would better myself even more. Then, you know, that's what I wanted to do, is better myself as a writer, and I would probably definitely help me do that. So that's all the information I gathered for my project and for my conspiracy theories and blogs. So yeah, this is my project.